going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Sheldon Mcdonald joins me. Good to see you, mate. Happy New Year. How's things?
Yeah, everything's going good. Obviously, last time I saw you was at the show just before Christmas, 28th of October. So yeah, everything's been going well. I stayed in the gym, had some time off with the family, and obviously had some time off for Christmas and New Year's. And I'm back in, getting sparring done, getting training done, getting ready for February 10th.
Obviously, when you're a boxer, you're kind of in that bubble, and like boxing becomes your whole life. It's constant, basically. Are you one of them people who, when you do get the time off at Christmas and New Year, you can switch off, or is it even when you're just sitting there chilling on the sofa, still thinking about fights and whatnot?
Yeah, boxing's always on your mind. It's a lifestyle. It's not just something you can switch on and switch off. It's always on your mind. But it's good to unwind as well, and have some time off, just off training, and take time out and then get back on it. There's no harm in that. And obviously, for myself personally, the whole of last year I was at uni as well. So now I'm just kind of shifting into a full-time boxing mode, getting a bit of work on the side, and now I'm just, I'm even more fully immersed in the boxing than I was last year.
Is it kind of a weight off the shoulders that the education stuff's done now? That's kind of a bit of your life, because obviously I've been to uni, I've dossed about a bit of uni, but I know that when you have to work, it ain't the easiest thing in the world. So is it kind of a pressure off the shoulders and you're like, kind of a bit of relief, I guess?
Yeah, it's a big relief, because obviously that's something I dedicated myself to for the past 3 years. So it was good to get it done and, get that finished. And then now I can fully focus on my next dedication, which is the lifestyle of boxing.
How do you assess your 2022 inside the ring? Obviously ups and downs, I know you would have learned absolutely loads, but if you can perhaps sum up how the whole year went for you, kind of inside the ring, how would you say?
I know these years have been going quick, but I've only been fighting for a year, and it feels like it's been a long time. I've done a lot in that year.
You're the first person I've met who I think said 2022 felt long. I think it went like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the years are going by quick, but my boxing career feels like I've been boxing for a long time. That's why it's a bit weird. But so in terms of last year, I'm just happy how it went. I got onto the path of professional boxing after the lockdown. I pushed myself. I said, yep, this is what I'm going to be doing. I want to go for that. I've got the skills. I want to push myself and dedicate myself. And I got over that hurdle. I got my license, started fighting, made my debut. And then opportunity came up with limited experience for the Boxer Series. I went into that competition and got all the credit and all the development and learned that. And then just before the end of the year, I got back out there. Worked on a lot of stuff in the gym for a good couple of months. Had a couple of setbacks as well, which I never had before, in terms of opponents pulling out and fights. So to say it's my first year, I've had a lot of up and down and a lot of learning, and it's been really, really eventful, and I can't wait for 2023.
I suppose you would have learned a lot kind of about, that's why I said focus on the in-ring stuff, because I suppose now, talking about this, you would have learned a lot on the outside of the ring stuff. Pro boxing isn't just getting in the ring and fighting. Things such as tickets and dealing with camps and sparring partners and that. Was it a shock to you? Obviously, everyone knows that these are things that goes on, but when you're actually in that environment at first, was it kind of a bit like, whoa, like, I didn't expect it to be kind of this hectic outside the ring?
Well, I've always been around boxing. My dad was a Thai boxer, so we've been to a lot of boxing shows. I know I've had a lot of friends. My brother boxed. But a lot of friends what a professional fighter. So I knew the ins and outs, but when it's you kind of think, nah, that won't be for me, I know loads of people, like, when I start fighting, I'm going to sell that place out. But, when you turn over and you see the dynamics, you see what, like, obviously, how it translates and, what you've got to put in and what you get back out and what you've got to actually put in financially for a camp. And obviously, then you got to go out and get some sponsors, to help you out and push you. So, and then you got to put your business hat on that side and speak to these people. So yeah, there's so many dynamics that I didn't even think of going into boxing. A lot of things what I thought would be very straightforward turned out to be the biggest pain. You know what I mean? And tickets is one of them. I didn't think that was going to be a problem. But you keep pushing and you just give thanks for everything you get. And I think what my mindset on it is, like, this is my building blocks. So when I do get an opportunity for maybe a bigger promoter to invest in me, or if my promotion gets bigger, I've built that foundation, and I've got that what I can always fall back on. So I'm always happy to do it, and I'm happy to get out there and sell the tickets and get out there and learn, because that's what I want. I know that it's going to be a solid foundation moving forward.
Well, I was going to say, I suppose you must feel like it's all worth it when you're in the ring, you're fighting, you're enjoying yourself. And I suppose speaking to a lot of fighters, some of them perhaps in the stage you're at, the learning stage, it's kind of just fight, and they kind of let them skip by and perhaps coast a little bit, and then they'll be 10-0, 11-0 and think, I didn't actually enjoy the process. So have you got to enjoy every single bit of it? Because sometimes even with the pressure, perhaps you don't get to enjoy it. Have you got to soak it all in and be like, yeah, actually, this is what I've been working towards. Let me enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, in terms of that, like on a day-to-day level, you're training hard 2-3 times a day, in your gym, around your teammates, day in, day out, rinse and repeat. So then by the time you get into the ring and you've got a roaring crowd, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? You know what I mean? At my first debut, like, I didn't think, I'm a very quite confident guy, outspoken guy. I've done loads of different jobs, loads of different things, got a lot of life experience. When I had that debut, I was nervous. And if anyone tells you they're not, they're lying. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was a good experience. And obviously, moving forward, it's just, I take it all in my stride, really, and kind of just see it for it. So I have soaked it up. But the main thing what stood out is when I went into the Sky production, the big stage, all the lights, the fans, and that's what made me realise that, yeah, this is what you should be doing. And it's made me hungry to go and get some more nights like that.
Well, massive 2023 ahead. Obviously, boxing is unpredictable. You could, don't be that guy, you could go and bust your hand in the first bar. You could end up with 2 titles by the end of the year. We literally don't know what's going to happen. But if you were to kind of realistically map out us sitting here next year and talking about your 2023, in your ideal world, what would have happened?
My 2023, ideally, I want to make sure that obviously no injuries come through, full nice training camps where I'm developing and learning and getting good sparring partners in, keep active, good 3 or 4 fights, in maybe 5 fights in 2023, building on. I want to tick the box of them 6 rounders, so then if that phone rings and there's an opportunity what comes up, I ain't got that in the way. I can just say, yep, I'm taking it. I haven't got like, oh, you haven't had these many fights. I want to be in there to win and get the best out of opportunities that come my way.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.